Today we will be making baked spaghetti, almost just like how you would do lasagna, except you would exchange your noodles. You will need your meat, ground turkey, ground beef, chicken, whatever meat that you choose, sour cream, cottage cheese. You can also use ricotta cheese. I do use that as well sometimes. Of course, you can see this is not Velveeta, but it's the Aldi's block cheese that's very, very good. Your cream cheese, butter, your marinara sauce or spaghetti sauce, black pepper, Italian seasoning, garlic powder, paprika, and seasoned salt. Let's get so the first thing you want to do, of course, is cook your meat. And while your meat is cooking, get your water boiling for your pasta. And preheat your oven on 350, depending on ovens, because everyone's oven is different. So anywhere between 350 to 375. Well, I'm going to even say 325. 325 to 375. And do not season your meat yet. You may have to drain off some moisture. Turkey doesn't usually have very much like ground beef to drain, but I always like to wait just to make sure. So I'll be back once that's brown. Okay, I just drained off most of the fat, whatever was more than I wanted in my meat. Now you can gather all your seasonings. And I've learned to do this a couple ways. You can do this when we get ready to mix our cream cheese, sour cream, and cottage cheese together. You can put your seasonings in that, or you can do the meat. I kind of like to do a little bit of both. So this is the paprika to help with a little bit of color. This is the Italian seasoning. Black pepper, and season to taste. Sometimes when you're doing food, you're cooking, you kind of start learning to get the eye, and you don't do measurements because you kind of know what the seasoning already tastes like, so you know about how much you can use without overdoing it. So, and that was the garlic pepper. This is the seasoned salt now. Stir that up. I'm going to add some of my frozen bell peppers. You do not have to add this, but I am, so I'll be back once that sautés down just a little bit where it's not frozen. So I'll be right back once that's done. Okay, now we're going to mix our cream cheese, sour cream, and cottage cheese together. I'm going to use half of a block, which would be 4 ounces. Trying to get it all out the package, so you'll have to forgive me for taking a moment. Okay, that's the best I can do to get half of it. The package says that's 4 ounces, doing half of it. Okay, and then you want to use about, we'll say maybe 1/3. Yeah, I'm going to use 1/3 cup of sour cream, and actually, you know, let's see, 1/3 cup of sour cream, then, yeah, 1/3 cup. Sorry, 1/3 cup. And then we're going to use maybe I'm trying to downsize what I usually use, so that's why I'm kind of like undecisive here. We'll just take a 1/2 cup of the cottage cheese. And then get a spoon. And just mix that together real well, and I'll be back. Okay, and while the water is boiling, it's time to put in the pasta. And I didn't show it in the beginning what type of pasta I was using, but I am using the whole grain thin spaghetti. My box isn't quite a pound. It says it's 13 ounces, and I'm probably going to use about 7 ounces, probably half the box. So let that cook until firm, till done. Do not overcook it. And we'll be back once that's done. I almost forgot one good key ingredient, your spaghetti sauce. Pour that into your meat. Can't forget that. I don't think that would have tasted very good. And you don't want it drying, so make sure you use enough. And if your family is small like mine and you don't want to use 2 jars, then you can go ahead and add a can of tomato sauce with this. If you only need just a little bit and don't want to open up a whole nother jar of spaghetti sauce. So I'm just going to let that simmer while we're waiting on the spaghetti noodles. We'll be back. So my spaghetti noodles are firm enough. They're done, but not all the way done. So I'm going to drain the water off. And you need to take your butter and put some, let me move this, put some butter at the bottom of your pan, and that is optional, you don't have to use butter. And then we're going to put half the noodles, make sure I'm in frame where you can see the noodles. I'm trying to keep everything close by. Take half your noodles and layer it on the bottom of your pan over the butter. And you can take half of it or a third of it. How many times you want to layer it, that's up to you. After that, you want to take some of the cream cheese, and actually, yeah, let's do that. Take some of the cream cheese. I'm going to bring this camera over closer to this side so you guys can see me layering. And then after that, I'm going to take my cheddar cheese that I had and cut some pieces. In this city, they've had a case back in 2005 where an individual was not properly strapped down into the transport van. There were allegations that he was given a rough ride, and he ended up getting a severed spine, becoming a paraplegic, and eventually died. It sounds very much similar to the scenario that could have occurred here. A question as to whether he got a rough ride in the van, and he may have banged into the van and severed his spine somehow. Okay, and then you can either add more cheese or you can add more butter. I don't think I want to add too much cheese, so I'm putting this other cheese back. But I am going to add just a little bit more butter. Got all the butter I'm going to add to that. And then we're going to get the rest of these noodles out. And let's see, are we going to... I decided I'm not going to layer it, but you can, as I stated a while ago. Just going to put it all in here and just make sure you spread it out so it doesn't be all in one spot.
Are you cutting carbs but missing the sweets you love? Try the delicious new candies. Atkins candies today. Go to Atkins.com for your...
After that, then we're just going to pour the rest of the noodles on top, then the meat. Okay, so now I'm going to turn that on. And as I stated prior, you don't have to use all the meat. I'm going to try to make sure I stay in good frame. And you can add as much cheese as you like. You can put some more on now again, or you can wait and put some on when it's almost done, right before you bring it out the oven. And of course, spread your meat out. Always building, always improving, always looking. Through hard work and perseverance, and I'm probably only going to use half because we're more noodle fans than we are the meat. We're not real big on a lot of meat. I can save this other half of meat for something else. Alright, and the next thing that I'm going to do, just because I want to make sure, is I'm going to go ahead and add, because to me it kind of looked dry. I wish I'd have did it before, in between the layers. I'm going to go ahead and add some tomato sauce so when we get ready to dig in, it won't be dry. And you don't have to do this step. Just personally, if you watched beforehand, I would mix it in. But of course I can't now. So now we're going to bake it in the oven for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then you can add cheese on it, like I said, before it comes out the oven. So this is fresh out the oven, and I am getting ready to plate it up, so I will be back. Here it is, all plated up. I'm going to add just a little more meat, so next time I know to add all my meat. But thanks for watching. I came back just to show that I put the rest of the meat on top of that, because once we cut it open, it was not enough meat, so I did use the rest of that meat. I just laid it on top of that tomato sauce. Thanks for watching.